Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. From NFL News Now, Philadelphia Eagles fans have every reason to celebrate their team's success on paper this season, sitting at 8-3 and holding the no-to seed in the NFC. The Eagles' 2025 campaign looks, at first glance, like a blueprint for postseason glory. But anyone paying attention beyond the numbers knows that this season has been anything but smooth. Behind the wins and impressive stats lies a storm brewing in the locker room, one that has centered on none other than A.J. Brown. What started as whispers about his performance and potential trade rumors has escalated into a far more complicated narrative, one that now touches on the relationship between Brown and quarterback Jalen Hurts. The tension is palpable, and the implications could reverberate far beyond the Eagles' current playoff positioning. It all began with A.J. Brown's on-field brilliance, which has been undeniable, but paired with moments of inconsistency and a locker room dynamic that has raised eyebrows around the league for months. Fans and insiders debated whether Brown's fiery personality and high expectations were a perfect match for Philadelphia's team culture, or if it was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Early in the season, the talk was mostly about stats, yards, and touchdowns, but as weeks passed, trade rumors started leaking, fueling a firestorm of speculation. While the chatter has quieted somewhat, the focus has shifted in a more dramatic direction. Sources now hint at frustrations between Brown and Jalen Hurts, an element that could fundamentally alter the trajectory of the Eagles' season and even Brown's future in the city. Then came the game that many will point to as the moment this tension became impossible to ignore. The Eagles, leading the Dallas Cowboys 21-0, seemed poised for a statement victory, only to watch that lead vanish as the Cowboys stormed back. The collapse was devastating not just on the scoreboard but as a cultural moment for the team. Moments like these shine a spotlight on internal dynamics, and the Eagles' struggles against Dallas ignited fresh conversations about leadership, accountability, and who is truly steering this ship. Analysts, fans, and former players have all been weighing in, and nowhere has that conversation been more charged than on Philadelphia airwaves, where legends of the franchise have felt compelled to speak out. Enter Donovan McNabb, the Eagles' legendary quarterback whose own career was shaped by triumphs, controversies, and a keen understanding of how Philadelphia operates. On 9 for WIP Sports Radio, McNabb didn't hold back when asked about A.J. Brown and the ongoing chatter surrounding the team. When you start bringing pieces and that the toxic talk starts to create a bad aura around the team, McNabb explained, referencing how certain narratives can overshadow talent and performance. I'm glad you brought that up with Kansas City because Andy Reid been going out, but what did he do? He pulled away one of the toxic parts of it. And that was when he decided to go a different direction, you know? From Tyreek. When he went away from the Tyreek situation, everybody was saying, what? They're not the same team. And Patrick's not going to be the same type of quarterback without Tyreek, and they've been to multiple Super Bowls afterwards. McNabb's point is clear. Sometimes tough decisions are necessary to preserve the overall health and chemistry of a team. In his eyes, that could mean this season being A.J. Brown's last in Philadelphia. Sometimes you may have to make that tough decision, and that's why I said this may be the last year for A.J. Brown because of all of this. McNabb continued. The Brown part about it, and it never fails, is that now everybody kind of has talked about A.J. But what was the conversation last week that's now spilling over? It's about Jalen and how people feel about Jalen and coaches and players and his on-field stuff. It's so funny because it's almost a deja vu again. I've been through it. I've seen it happening, and it was just a matter of time before all of this talk starts happening. Hearing McNabb speak, it's hard not to sense the gravity of the situation. He's been inside the Eagles' locker room, has navigated the pressures of a high-profile team in a city that feels every win and loss as a personal victory or defeat, and knows exactly how narratives can spiral out of control. The idea that Brown's future could be in jeopardy isn't just speculation. It's a warning from someone who has seen the dominoes fall before. The Eagles, after all, are a team where chemistry isn't optional, and even a superstar like A.J. Brown isn't immune to the consequences of locker room tension and media scrutiny. The drama isn't confined to words on the radio either. Observers note that games like the collapse against the Cowboys exacerbate the perception of instability. Fans see the missed opportunities. Analysts dissect every decision, and the players themselves are inevitably affected. The media narrative, once focused solely on A.J. Brown's electrifying catches and game-breaking ability, has now expanded to a broader critique of the team's cohesion, leadership, and future planning. Questions about Jalen Hurts' leadership, the coaching staff's decision-making, and the alignment of talent and personality in Philadelphia have all bubbled to the surface. It's a powder keg scenario where one misstep, one bad game, or one leaked rumor could fundamentally reshape the team's plans. Philadelphia is a city that thrives on sports drama, and this situation with A.J. Brown fits perfectly into that narrative. Every move, every statement, every performance is magnified, and former players like McNabb are acutely aware of how past lessons can apply today. His references to the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid's handling of Tyreek Hill are more than anecdotes. They're strategic examples of how to handle superstar tension without derailing a team's season. It's a delicate balancing act, and McNabb's voice adds a level of credibility that makes fans and insiders alike pay attention. His framing of A.J. Brown's potential departure isn't just speculation, it's a cautionary tale that feels entirely plausible given the current climate. Meanwhile, the Eagles' coaching staff and management are under a microscope, facing the challenge of keeping a high-powered team focused while navigating personalities, expectations, and media scrutiny. The stakes couldn't be higher. The playoffs are looming. The margin for error is razor-thin, and the team's chemistry is being tested in ways that numbers alone cannot quantify. Every practice, every huddle, every sideline interaction becomes part of the narrative, as observers try to decipher whether A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts can coexist at the peak of performance, or whether the tension will reach a breaking point. That forces management to make a dramatic decision. For fans, this season has become a thrilling roller coaster of highs and lows. The Eagles' record suggests dominance, but the underlying currents tell a story of uncertainty, suspense, and potential upheaval. Will A.J. Brown finish the season in Philadelphia? Can Jalen Hurts maintain leadership amidst growing speculation? How will Andy Reid and his staff navigate the ever-shifting landscape of talent, personality, and media scrutiny? The answers are far from clear. But one thing is certain, the Eagles' 2025 season is more than just wins and losses. It's a narrative filled with intrigue, drama, and high stakes that will keep fans glued to every headline, every broadcast, and every play on the field. As the Eagles push forward, the world will be watching. Philadelphia is a city that never forgets, and a team that never lets tension go unnoticed. A.J. Brown's future, Jalen Hurts' leadership, and the overall trajectory of the team are all inextricably linked to the decisions made in the coming weeks. Donovan McNabb's warning is a clarion call. Sometimes the bravest move a franchise can make is to confront tension head-on, even when it involves one of its brightest stars. The drama surrounding A.J. Brown isn't just a subplot. It's a potential turning point in the story of the 2025 Eagles. A story that is far from finished and promises twists that could define not just the season, but a legacy. The clock is ticking, the games are coming, and the pressure is mounting. Every catch, every pass, every sideline conversation now carries weight far beyond the scoreboard. Eagles fans, sports analysts, and former players all know that in Philadelphia, legends are made not just by talent, but by navigating the storm when it matters most. A.J. Brown's time with the Eagles hangs in the balance, and with Donovan McNabb's cautionary words echoing across the city, the 2025 season has transformed into a tense countdown, one that could culminate in triumph, heartbreak, or a seismic shakeup that will reverberate for years to come. The narrative is alive, the stakes are real, and the story of A.J. Brown and the Eagles in 2025 is far from over. This is drama at its finest, unfolding one game, one play, and one decision at a time. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. The atmosphere around the Philadelphia Eagles locker room has suddenly taken a dramatic turn, the kind that sends ripples through the entire NFL. Rumors are swirling like wildfire, and sources close to the team hint at a tension so thick it could be cut with a knife. At the center of it all, Jalen Hurts. Yes, the very quarterback who has been the heartbeat of the Eagles' offense, the guy who has carried the team through highs and lows, seems to have reached a breaking point. Insiders claim that what started as quiet frustration has now escalated into something resembling a full-blown revolt. And whispers suggest that Hurts has not held back in delivering a message straight to the upper echelons of the Eagles management. People around the league are talking about a scene that sounds more like a locker room war council than a routine team meeting. You can almost picture it, a room heavy with tension. Assistants and coaches exchanging nervous glances, while Hurts stands firm, eyes blazing, laying down his truth without sugarcoating a single word. Sources suggest the quarterback made it abundantly clear that his patience has limits and that certain decisions or indecisions off the field are beginning to impact not only his performance but his trust in the organization. There's talk that his message was pointed, direct, and unapologetic. A move that could either be the wake-up call the Eagles desperately need or a spark that ignites a larger controversy. The language reportedly used was frank, the kind that leaves no room for interpretation, sending a signal that Hurts is not willing to be sidelined or ignored. When it comes to the direction of the team, people inside the building are reportedly describing a climate of war, a phrase that has now started to echo outside the walls of the NovaCare complex. Rumors are already flying among NFL insiders, former players, and analysts who can't stop speculating about what this could mean for the team's internal dynamics. Some are saying Hurts is demanding more say in personnel decisions. Others hint that he is frustrated with the offensive strategy or the way certain plays are being called. But everyone agrees on one thing: he is fed up and he is not hiding it. The chatter suggests that this isn't just a passing annoyance or a momentary outburst. Sources hint at months of simmering tension that have now finally boiled over, and the quarterback's frustration is being felt in every corner of the organization. Some insiders even suggest that players in the locker room are quietly rallying behind him, while others are bracing for the fallout, knowing that a high-profile confrontation between a star quarterback and team management can shift the balance of power in ways no one anticipated. The scene, as described by those who claim to have been close to the meeting, was intense, almost cinematic. Hurts allegedly laid out scenarios, gave examples of where he felt the team was falling short, and made it clear that he wants tangible change immediate, not after the season or in some vague long-term plan. The speculation around the league is that this could influence trade talks, coaching decisions, or even future draft strategies. Analysts are already dissecting every word, every gesture, trying to piece together the bigger picture. What does this mean for the Eagles' locker room chemistry? Could this lead to a shift in leadership dynamics, or even a potential shakeup in the coaching staff? The conversation online is electric, with fans divided between those who admire Hurts' courage to speak out and those who fear that such open confrontation might destabilize a team that has championship aspiration. The intrigue doesn't stop there. Sources hint that Hurts has allies among veteran players who respect his leadership and aren't afraid to voice their own frustrations, which could give this movement some weight beyond a single voice. Some whispers even suggest that this could affect contract negotiations in the near future, as Hurts' willingness to challenge the status quo could translate into leverage when discussions about his value and role come up. Meanwhile, NFL insiders are comparing the current tension to other famous locker room standoffs, noting that while Hurts' approach is different, more calculated, more eloquent, it carries the same potential to force change in an organization unwilling to adapt. And the drama is spilling into the media sphere, with every sports commentator, every podcast, and every social media thread analyzing what Hurts' message really means. Was this a premeditated statement meant to pressure the front office, or a spontaneous eruption of pent-up frustration? The speculation is relentless. Even within the Eagles' coaching staff, sources hint at a mix of concern and admiration. Some coaches reportedly see this as an opportunity to realign priorities and strengthen the bond between the quarterback and management, while others are worried that the optics of such a direct confrontation could be interpreted as insubordination, creating a rift that might take months, if not years, to heal. The story seems to grow more complex with each passing hour, with insiders dropping hints of private meetings, emergency strategy sessions, and closed-door conversations aimed at containing the situation before it turns into a public spectacle. Fans are obsessively dissecting every tweet, every sideline gesture, every press conference, looking for signs of tension or reconciliation. Rumors are flying about potential ultimatums, about the quarterback demanding not just respect, but influence over decisions that extend far beyond the X and O's of game day. Even league executives are reportedly watching closely, knowing that how the Eagles handle this could set a precedent for how star players assert themselves in other franchises. And amidst all this, Jalen Hurts' image as a leader is being magnified. Some see him as the embodiment of accountability and courage, unwilling to sit silently while the organization he has devoted himself to flounders. In areas he considers crucial, others caution that such high-profile confrontations can backfire, especially in a league where loyalty, timing, and perception are everything. Yet, the buzz keeps building, almost as if the entire NFL is holding its breath, waiting to see whether this is the start of a sweeping shift in power dynamics, or just another chapter. In the endless saga of player management negotiations, the word on the street is clear: Hurts has sent a message that cannot be ignored. A message that resonates far beyond Philadelphia, hinting at a quarterback who is not just playing the game, but is actively shaping the conversation about how the game should be played, both on and off the field, as the rumor mill churns. Insiders warn that every action from the Eagles' management, every public statement, every sideline reaction, is being scrutinized through the lens of this new tension. Some are even predicting that this could spark a chain reaction, influencing trade rumors, coaching evaluations, and even fan engagement. As the drama unfolds, there is a sense of electricity in the air, the kind that only comes when a star player challenges the very hierarchy that surrounds him. And for fans, analysts, and rivals alike, the narrative is irresistible: a quarterback at the peak of his powers, refusing to be sidelined, speaking truth to power, and daring an entire organization to respond. Whether this leads to reconciliation, a dramatic shakeup, or a storyline that dominates the headlines for months, one thing is undeniable: the Philadelphia Eagles have entered a new chapter, and Jalen Hurts is at the center of it. With a voice that refuses to be silenced and a determination that promises the world nothing short of fireworks, as the whispers turn into discussions and the discussions into debates, the NFL landscape watches, captivated by the drama, and wondering, will this bold stance become a turning point for the Eagles, or the spark of a controversy that will be remembered for years to come? The tension is palpable, the stakes are sky high, and the narrative continues to unfold with every passing hour, leaving everyone from journalists to fans glued to every detail, speculating on what happens next, and waiting to see if the quarterback's fiery message will ignite lasting change, or a storm that could shake the organization to its very core. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates, only here on NFL News Now.